wait, shit, I got the fucking... There we go. So there's no feedback. There we go. All right. Now I'm back up again since being live was causing my download speed to be like dog shit. So I could actually download the game that I'm trying to play while listening to this video, which is because I'm restarting the stream. I'm gonna restart the video, which is gonna be watching Destiny's video. Might watch Papa Guts as well. Maybe not though, because it's all just gonna be rewatching the same Nick video. So I'm not really sure. I don't really like Papa Guts content anymore. But yeah, be watching the Destiny one while playing some games. Make it a little bigger, maybe. All right. Alrighty. Let's just fucking go straight into it.
They did not cover up a sexual assault. He's claiming that the biggest thing that I think I disproved in my video, which is that they covered up a sexual assault actively and hid a against the victim's wishes, is untrue. I didn't even realize how much they hated you. They despise you in general. Like, around the internet, there is this, like, impression of you that is not real.
Recently shared a post supporting Israel and have been racist by leftist friends. I'm assuming you mean called racist by leftist friends. Stuff like that makes conservatives look better on how they respond, and it's me reconsidering my ideology. Any advice? Don't let people push you into other political positions. Don't be a goofball. Don't be goofy. All right.
Once U.S. streamers getting banned and then stating why they got banned, are you supposed to ensure they don't do it again? You don't know what you did. Example, former Twitch streamer Destiny.
That's me.
So first of all, we've evolved our policies a great deal over the years. I completely agree.
I always forget that the Twitch CEO is like a redneck-looking dude.
We still have some improvement to make in this. We haven't done all that we want to do.
I don't know how long it takes till he actually starts talking about the Nick video.
I would like to give you a video clip so you know exactly what you did. And I agree, it is important. The whole reason is to educate people so they don't keep doing it.
Yeah.
And especially if someone's close to the line, it's important for them to see the actual thing.
Hold on, wait. Wait, shouldn't you be open to your political views, not hard sticking to one side just because you think so? No. What I'm saying is, if there are people that are part of a group that are attacking you for a certain belief that you have, you shouldn't let those people
60 hertz lot. You can't go higher than 60 hertz with this game.
Strange to me. Well, it's not strange. I understand it. But if you took people at their word, it would be strange. Something that would be strange is people who say things like, "Oh, I was a big supporter of Bernie Sanders," or "I was like a big Democrat, and then I got bullied over trans women in showers, and now I'm voting for Donald Trump." When I hear that, so what they're saying is, I used to have like all these left-leaning beliefs, and then I got bullied one time, and now I changed my entire political ideology. But what's actually happening is they were part of one political group, they got bullied out of it, and then they've developed, and then they've changed to a new political group, or I'm sorry, a new social group, right? It's just moving from social group to social group, but don't do that, okay? Have actual political beliefs. Don't just be part of like groups, okay?
I don't really care about this part.
Nebula.
I want to...
Not banned from Nebula, but I think Nebula and them had a discussion,
when
and
does
then they
he
decided to leave.
When does he actually get to it?
Hey everyone, so this is going to be a bit of a weird video.
You guys communicate through LSF clips? Well, kind of, except all of my LSF
Is that
clips
Keffels?
get banned
No, I
unless
don't
they shut
fucking
them
want to. I
down,
don't want to
right?
see anything about that fucking idiot.
I wish LSF would get rid of the politics ban. Or, I mean, I guess not. It doesn't matter. It just... Oh, man, I missed this. This would have been an interesting response to Lycan.
Oh, wait, here it is.
Not to shut on Israel, but
Okay, so
don't think I
it
would
comes up in a little
trust
bit.
anything
Okay.
that they covertly release that the U.S. doesn't co-sign. If the United States co-signs it, if the United States says, we looked into the intel, we looked into the source of this, and we're going to say we actually do think that this is legitimate, I would be more agreeable. But if the U.S. hasn't said it, I would not. Yeah.
Today's drama that I'm talking about has to do personally with me in regards to my coverage on the Super Mega story that happened a few months ago on my channel, and on many other places on the internet. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, you probably know what's going on and at least some of what has been said about me and others in the comments of my video, but I know that most of you are probably very confused right now, so I'll catch you up. Now, I wanted to talk about this sooner, but I was afraid that bringing it up would cause even more harassment against myself and the people around me and others in this situation. But because of just how bad it has really gotten, I want to publicly and fully explain my perspective and try to resolve it in the best way I can. A few months ago, I made 2 different videos.
Can you explain the TLDR for the Super Mega drama? Basically, this guy helped to signal boost another girl saying that Super Mega was, the main claim was basically that they were kind of like hiding a sexual assaulter and forcing her to be in the same room as him for an extended period of time. And then there were a whole bunch of garbage personal attacks thrown on top of that. Green is not Nick decided to support the girl originally because he says he believes sexual assault victims, blah, blah, blah. But as you dig into it more, it seems like this loser just had like a personal vendetta against Super Mega because him and a bunch of other people, for some stupid reason, they just don't like them. They're ex-fans, like dumb shit like that. So he basically turned like what was kind of an essay allegation against somebody that Super Mega was
God
protecting,
damn, the game takes forever to
basically used it as,
load.
like a personal vendetta to go at Super Mega for a bunch of shit. But the problem was like 95% of what he said.
Wait, that's
in this video
that is
was
literally
a
just
straight
Xenoverse
out
Trunks.
fucking lies. It was fabricated. They were half-truths. None of it lined up. He didn't reach out to the other people to try to confirm or verify anything. All he did was he took it at face value from his friend that these other people were horrible people. And what's more, he even explicitly said, what's more, he even said in the video, bro, that was my friend. She was SA'd. Of course I'm not going to do my normal research. I'm not going to try and find out what the truth is. I'm just going to believe her. He like said that verbatim. It was an insane statement. Wait, did he just admit to being a biased partisan hack? Wait, hold on. I must have missed
Yeah, I remember that part.
It sounded like he just said, oh, of course I'm not going to be objective. She's my friend. I must not have heard that correctly.
Of course, I'm gonna take the side of a personal friend of mine when she comes out with a story about her own sexual assault. This isn't like an online, like normal thing where I look at all the facts and I make a decision. No.
What? This is a clown world statement. Hello? She's my friend. You think I'm gonna look at the facts? Part of the reasons why people are so comfortable going on and just telling lies is because they've got people like this their lives. And when I say simp, I mean an agender simp. Oh my god, you said something happened to you? Yes, queen. Yes, king. I believe you 100%. I'll stand you. Yes, 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 yes. People like him are the reason why people feel so comfortable telling lies in there. Because they always have relentless support no matter what.
He's like, even if he's friends with them, like, if he didn't let that completely affect his coverage, I wouldn't care that much. But he was totally uncritical. He didn't say the word allegation once in that whole thing. He treated it all as fact.
Super Mega stopped making content because of this? They quit? Oh, jeez. They're done.
Around a sexual assault that happened to an artist and a friend of Super Mega's by another one of their close friends who also worked for the channel. Both people were highly associated with Super Mega, and the actual instance of the sexual assault happened under Matt Watson's roof. Now, the artist who was sexually assaulted made a video months after this incident detailing what happened between her, Don, her assaulter, and the rest of the Super Mega team. Now, Lex, the artist at the center of the story, is dating a close friend of mine.
In a video game, sorry.
Who you are all familiar with. That would be Ethan is online. Lex posted her story, and I was asked by her and Ethan to potentially...
Rumor is that Lex is making a response video to Super Mega 2. I don't believe it. I bet she's trying to make one, but I don't think she'll actually publish it. Everything about their story was bullshit. I think she's gonna get, if she tries to, it's gonna be horrible. I don't think she will. She'll end up tweeting saying like, oh, I can't deal with the harassment. It's too much. Like, I just want to move on past all this and then move away.
That would be
They really don't have the
online.
wow.
Lex
Okay.
posted her story, and I was asked by her and Ethan to potentially talk about it on my channel because I've talked about similar situations in the past. I watched her video, and a few days later, I posted a video covering everything she said in the video, including the reports of 2 other people who spoke out about Super Mega, one of them being a former employee of theirs who used to be friends with Ethan and Lex at the time of her video releasing. Now, after I released this initial video, Super Mega released 2 videos detailing their side of the story.
Okay, keep in mind here that when he says that he released a video also going over their allegations and claims, it wasn't just that. That was like 1/8 of the video. The rest of the video was just random personal attacks, playing some video of the guy getting punched in the boxing ring like over and over again. Can somebody tell me like what part of Lex's story was this for? What part of Lex's story is this important for?
Video. And my favorite post right here says rape apologist gets what he deserves, and it shows Matt getting the absolute shit beaten out of him. Let's just let it play a couple more times.
Wait, what? Did it not?
We can keep watching it. I don't think anyone minds letting this loop on repeat. We could just let this go. If you want me to do this for the rest of the video, I could.
And making jokes and like shitting on them for a bunch of totally irrelevant stuff. Wait, Lex donated in chat? In YouTube chat? Wait, in his or in mine? SA, not alleged essay? No, it's alleged essay, okay? Because at this point, from what I've heard, and it's just word versus word. Wait, is Lex Karen $5? Wrong Lex? Oh, Lex Friedman.
Oh, there's the finish button. That was my fuck up.
Where they admitted their faults in a lot of areas, but also provided evidence as to why they believed that a lot of these claims were made in bad faith to hurt their channel, specifically targeting Layden's response as a highly falsified story that could not be—
Oh wait, is the girl's name not Lex? Wait, I thought it was Lex. It was Lex, and Layton is the gay guy, right? Hold on, you guys are like gassing the fuck out of me. Cute, okay?
channel, specifically targeting Layden's response as a highly falsified story that could not be trusted. Now, in one of these videos, Matt Watson claimed that a lot of these channels speaking out against them were directly tied to Layden, and even made the false claim that I am close friends with Layden, pushing the narrative that he was just a disgruntled ex-employee who orchestrated these people to speak out negatively against Super Mega and ruin their career. Now, I want to expand on my feelings on Layden and the way that I think he hurt Lex's story and the reputation of so many people around him, but I will come back around to it after my summary. A major point of Super Mega's videos also focused on comments made by Lex and Layden about Matt and Ryan's late friend Daniel, who took his life.
So it is Xenoverse Trunks.
Specifically, Lex and Layden made claims about hearing Matt and Ryan call Daniel a coward, among many other things, and talked about how it changed the way they looked at Super Mega. But in their response, Matt and Ryan talk about how their feelings of grief around their late friend should not have been a part of Lex and Layden's statements, and they felt like it was extremely inappropriate to bring this up and use it against them. Now, I believe this part is important here, and I will be expanding on it later in the video, but I just want to make it clear that Daniel should not have been mentioned in anyone's videos about the situation, including Lex. Because it was a part of multiple stories that I was summarizing in my video, I, of course, decided to include it as valuable information, but the purpose of my video on Super Mega was to highlight the stories that were told, not give my own personal story on the situation. Bringing up Daniel was purely part of reporting that story.
Sneeko was right about this guy. No, like, bro, there's gonna be no accountability. He's not gonna take, like, it wasn't just like, I was just reporting a blah, 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 blah. This guy was celebrating, okay? This guy was celebrating their downfall. He loved it. He was like, fucking, like, you see the video angle that he has now? The video angle when he made this video was like 5 inches higher, okay? Because he had to create room for the throbbing erection that he had when he was like gleefully recounting every single random piece of drama that he possibly could on the first video. For him to come back like, oh, I was just dispassionately reporting on the facts as they were told to me. You know, I was only relaying it. And, you know, in retrospect, like, it's such fucking bullshit, dude. What do you want?
Shalom. What do you mean, what do you want, motherfucker? This is my shit.
Guy, dude. Why do you mean me? I don't even care about this shit. Now you got me all riled up over this stupid fucking bullshit.
You're malding anyway. Yeah, it was a really bad response. I don't even know if I'm gonna personally post a response to it or anything, just because, I mean, I feel like the comments kind of get the idea already. If you look at the comments, like, they are fucking tearing him apart. It's crazy. Overall, it was extremely frustrating to see him kind of like, he likes to do this thing where he has like a very impartial tone, and that makes people think that, like, oh, he doesn't actually care, but he clearly does care. He clearly is balding in this video. Just because he does like a low vibrational frequency desert for pussy voice doesn't mean that he's not mad. This entire video is basically him trying to say like, oh, well, I was being impartial. I didn't really care. Like, bro, you were playing videos of them getting punched
in that boxing video over and over. Yeah, we can watch this as much as you want, guys. Let it play. Let it play. Yeah. The original video title was like, Super Mega is full of horrible people. Like, that was like the original. Yeah.
Exactly. To act as if it was just reporting is ridiculous. And he does sort of make like a few non-specific statements here about how he like should have not done a few things. Like, he says he shouldn't have mentioned Daniel Kyer, the guy who committed suicide. But what he doesn't do is walk back the most important thing, which is the thing that is provably false in my eyes from my video.
Wait, what was provably false? Which thing?
From my eyes, what's provably false is that they covered up sexual assault. They did not cover up the sexual assault, right? What Matt and Ryan did is they respected a victim's wishes to not out a story against her will. That's what they did.
Sure.
And Nick is claiming in this video to this day, which is I think what he's going to get the most for, he's claiming that the biggest thing that I think I disproved in my video, which is that they covered up a sexual assault actively and hid a rape against the victim's wishes, is untrue. Like, that is completely untrue. That is,
Also,
I think,
not to be
demonstrably untrue.
super edgy, and I can understand if you don't want to go here, but to be clear here, the sexual assault that we're talking about is she was giving him a blowjob, he pushed her head down, she said, please don't do that, I don't like that, and then he stopped doing it, right?
Her account is that he didn't stop.
Oh, no,
She
we
just,
Oh,
like,
her account is that he kept pushing.
kept going.
Okay.
Her account is that he
Gotcha.
kept pushing. His account is, yeah, basically what you said.
Okay.
So it depends on like which person you want to believe.
Okay. But to
or
be
who
clear,
has more
like up to
credibility.
leading in that, like the blowjob and everything was consensual, but it was whether or not he pushed her head too much. That's the essay part. That's what we're talking about, right?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on the account, right? So the account from him is the blowjob was consensual, but pushing down too hard and like hitting her cold sore is what upset her. Her account is like he asked her for a blowjob, she said no, she said no, she said no, and then eventually she just gave in basically because he was like big and scary, I guess is her explanation. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And so it kind of and like forcing her head down, I think was another claim she made. So it depends on who you want to believe. I just think like whether or not that is true, the damage done by all these people to the story already like rips away a lot of their credibility.
Sure, yeah. Also, wait,
it's
did she mention having a
terrible.
cold sore?
He said she had a cold sore. I don't think she mentioned that.
Oh, okay. Don't get blowjobs from people with cold sores. You know that, right?
Isn't that herpes?
Yeah, HSV1, and you can get that on your genitals. So unless you already have,
Gotcha. Okay.
herpes, don't. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the advice. I will take that heavily into consideration the next time that happens.
No problem, dude.
But yeah, like the video is just straight up trash. Straight up like terrible trash. It's downplaying his involvement. It's downplaying the fact that like he like acknowledges he's like, well, yes, they did approach me. Lex did approach me, asked me to make a video, and I said I could cover it on my channel. But at the same time, he's like, but it's crazy to think there's any conspiracy to take down Super Mega. He downplays any personal stake he has in it. He downplays. He's like, well, how could I profit off of it when I didn't make money off of it? And it's like, well, you get views, you get stuff like that. He's like, well, my other videos do better or whatever. And it's like, well, it's still got like cumulatively 2 videos, 1.3 million views, I think, in total from those videos combined. Quite a few views. The biggest win, I think, is that he did unlist the videos, which he says at the end. The prior 2 videos are
Unlist or private them?
unlisted, so they're not going to come up in the algorithm.
Okay.
Which, at the very least, when you look up Super Mega, you're not going to have Super Mega is full of horrible people in the search results, which I think is a win. I think that's a win.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, she
overall,
after the sexual assault incident, she continued to date the guy for a year, right?
I don't know if it was a year, but it was a considerable amount of time. Yeah, it was quite some time.
Oh, what is this? Hold on, I've just been linked. Turkey Tom is 18 and his girlfriend at 5YB3R is 17. Is this true?
It was true 3 years ago when I was 18.
Aw, so you're a pedophile. Okay.
I know, exactly, right? W Riz. Yeah, me and Mr. Girl have been in the DMs a lot. We've been talking about this. No, I'm just trolling, Chad. I'm just trolling.
Oh, you're good.
Anyway. The video overall from Nick.
Thanks, Dan Gina, for the 10
he also
subs.
mentions a few other situations like Gus Johnson in the video. He talks about how like victims are brutally harassed. Have you covered the Gus Johnson thing? Are you familiar with this?
Dude, I got so triggered watching that Sabrina video. The fact that she did an ad read at the end, oh my god. Yeah, there might have been more info that came out that I missed or something. That makes Gus like an actual like really bad person, but everything, even from Sabrina's video, Gus seemed relatively reasonable. Except maybe he could have been there for her more during some of the hospital stuff, but
right.
Yeah.
So Nick covered that situation.
Oh god.
My
And I'm
understanding,
sure he probably took Sabrina's side 1,000,000,000%, right?
not only that, he condemned this guy named Pay Money Wubby who did an interview with Gus. And he was like, you can't do that.
Okay.
And he was like saying you can't even have a conversation with this guy. I don't know if Sabrina specifically knows Nick. I don't know that for sure. It wouldn't shock me if she did, but yeah, this guy's like history of covering stuff like this is abysmal in my opinion. And I think he should just stick to like maybe just fucking off from the internet for a while. He said he's gonna be back Monday making the videos. At the very least, I would like to see him not cover like pressing allegations because he clearly has shown he's like irresponsible with how he handles it. Yeah, the Sneeko thing, he even brings up Sneeko in this video. He's like, I know what it's like to be harassed. You know, when I called out Sneeko, I was harassed for months. It's like,
Oh my god.
really gonna play the victim on that, bro? Like, Sneeko got banned. He can't even. He's gone. You know. So yeah, this guy just sucks. It's like the epitome of like commentary community shittery. Lex is also apparently making a response. Morgpie also responded where she straight up lied about her involvement, by the way.
Yeah, Morgpie is like, oh, I didn't know any of this would be anything. I was just kind of like chilling. I didn't know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, which is not true at all. That's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
That's
I would be surprised if Lex actually releases a video. I would be really surprised.
I know she's making a response. I don't know what that response is going to be. It might be
I feel like it's going to be a tweet. Like, oh, I just want to like move on from this. It's too much and blah, blah, blah. Bro, the level of like... Hold on, I'm trying not to go full incel. The level of pretty girl entitlement to be complaining about having to clean up a place that you're allowed to stay in for free while you're too lazy to find another place to live while you buy a $40,000 Jeep and go on a month-long vacation through the United... Like, bro, all of that, those facts taken together alone make me hate this person. Like, holy shit.
And it's even crazier, like, when I saw the video, I thought she was, like young or something. I was like, okay, she's 18, right? But no, she's, like, 27 or 28. Like, what the fuck? What have you been doing for the past, like, 30 years of your life? This is where you're at. Like,
yeah.
You're still on this entitled, crazy shit. And yeah, the financial responsibility is, like, so, like, crazy. Not to mention, no offense, but the omission of the fact that there was, like, polyamorous relationships going on, I think is important for how things got even more complicated here.
Oh, yeah, because one of the acclaims, too, was that, like, one of the Super Mega guys was cheating on his girlfriend, and that's not true at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not true. But what's even crazier to me is the fact that she is the one calling that out. And it must just be projection to me, right? It must be like, maybe she feels guilty about it or something. Maybe she feels guilty about spending a night in a hotel room alone with Ethan, like right after breaking up with Don or something. Like maybe that was it. And so as a result, she's like projecting that onto these other guys. I also found it fucking, in this video, Nick is like, Matt and Ryan have admitted to their faults in this situation. Well, they did admit to fault, but not the fault that Nick thinks that they should admit to. Like, that's the difference. And he never says that. He also says, like, Ryan said he shouldn't have a platform, and, you know, he admitted to sexting fans, which is horrible. Like,
oh my god.
What is up with this? Okay, what is up with this sexting fans shit? This is crazy. People are going crazy.
Like, if you go in like the very extremist area, like people think that like any sexual contact with fans is like immoral. Although, to be fair, something that I think is like a little bit funny is, I would have to think this through more, but I think that you can probably make a more ethical argument for fucking fans than you could for fucking fellow content creators, because a fan is at the worst like just somebody that's enamored with you, but a fellow content creator's like actual job could be at risk having a sexual relationship with you, right? Like the worst way that I could fuck over a fan would be like, you feel like shit because I say I don't like you or I pressure you into some kind of sexual activity because you look at me so much, blah, blah. But like with a fellow content creator, you're like, oh, we're not fucking anymore? Well, guess what? I think I actually don't want you on my podcast. I think I'm going to tell my friends that we're not going to work with you, you know? So it's really funny that like, if you talk about like fucking fellow content creators, I think nobody would even bat an eye, but when fans come up, it's like the worst fucking thing in the world. Probably
I don't even know
like,
what, like, do people think that, like, because you don't make YouTube videos, you're, like, IQ, like, 30, like, unable to consent to sex? Like, I don't understand what the argument is. Like, I hear this power imbalance thing. It's like, but every relationship can have a power imbalance. Like, unless you're, like, unless you're forcing someone against their will to do something with you, if they are an adult who's willing to consent to a sexual transaction with you and they know who you are, and, like, you're not, you know, like misleading them or lying, like.
Sure, I understand what you're saying. In sexual situations in general, women are fairly passive, right? Like they sometimes won't reinforce boundaries or even give boundaries, or they won't say if they're not comfortable. They're pretty passive, right? So that's what they should say, yeah, but they don't. So that's one. And then two, if there's somebody that you look up to a lot, if you're a super mega fan of somebody, it's very easily possible for that person to kind of push you into doing things that you wouldn't be comfortable doing normally. Like a girl that ordinarily, let's say, like wouldn't be into getting fucked in the ass, wouldn't be into anal, like if she's around a content creator she really likes and they're like super hitting it off or whatever, and then they go to, you know, have sex, and the content creator's like, oh, like, you know, I know you like my videos, like, it'd be so cool if I fucked you in the ass, like, I've always wanted to do this, blah, 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 blah. Like, the girl could end up, like, consenting to stuff that she's not actually ordinarily okay with, just because she looks up to the guy so much and she doesn't want to, like, disappoint him. That's, like,
that's not the guy's fault, though. That's her fault for, like, consenting to something she didn't want to do.
Yeah, sure, no? I mean, I know, but, like, I feel like men should be, men should I think guys in general should be more perceptive to women being uncomfortable and should
Nah.
be willing to pump the brakes rather than waiting for an explicit no from the woman, because oftentimes they won't say it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
but it
That-
shouldn't be the
that makes
guy's.
sense. You-
It can't be the guy's fault if a girl won't say something. That's not the guy's fault. That's yeah. It shouldn't be. Yeah, the power imbalance argument whenever it comes to these things is fucking stupid because even doesn't matter how much you admire someone online, they don't have like actual power over you, especially across the internet. So it's like there's nothing wrong with like a YouTuber or a streamer with an audience sexting their fans as long as those fans aren't, as long as they're adults and they're consenting. There's nothing fucking wrong with it. Yeah.
You should be courteous in sexual interactions. I just think the idea that like sleeping with fans or fucking fans or starting a relationship with fans is like a big is genuinely unethical and off limits. Like big umbrella is like retarded, and I don't see why this is like a thing that people push in general. It feels like just kind of one of those things that people just hear on like Reddit or Twitter and just take for granted because like children say it and then adults believe children because it's their fan base. It's like power imbalance. Oh, but the power imbalance is so bad. And it's like, well, like the problem with the power imbalance is if a person in power abuses that power to like use the person against their will, right?
A little bit.
There's like,
It's
there's like obviously women like men who like get attention and like make money. Like right, like that's what happened since the beginning of time.
Sure, yeah.
Like like nobody has a problem with like actors fucking normal people, but like if it's a YouTuber because you meet through Instagram or something, like that is a problem.
Depending, yeah. It's just here's the thing, okay? Red flags exist. Power dynamics are almost always red flags, but a red flag isn't necessarily bad. That's all I'm saying. Is like people have gotten into their head that like a red flag it means that there's abuse, but that doesn't necessarily mean it. That just means that there's like something that there's a high likelihood for abuse. For instance, like Melina was 20 when I met her, and I was 30. That's a 10-year age gap, and she's just turned 20, right? That's a pretty big red flag. Doesn't necessarily mean that I groomed her. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with her, but it's something to like keep in mind, you know? Just because there's a red flag doesn't mean like a fan fucking a content creator. It's kind of a red flag. Doesn't necessarily mean something bad. Something there's like a high propensity for abuse. That's what that means. And I wish that people were capable of seeing like a red flag without thinking that there's automatically something really bad going on there. Does that make sense?
Okay, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense. Yeah, I just don't see why this is like a catch-all like argument against people. Like,
No, it's not.
oh, well,
It's
they
stupid, but-
fuck their fans. It's like, okay, so like were they an adult fan? Well, yeah. Then I don't really care that much.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the overarching thing. But yeah, just to get back to the Nick video. Overall, a very it's honestly just about as bad as I thought it would be if he did respond. I didn't think we were gonna get any response. We're supposed to come out.
He
last
really
night,
shouldn't have
coming out
responded.
this
That's the
morning.
thing.
Maybe he needed a little extra time to make it extra bad, but in the end, he doesn't really walk back much of what he did. He does spend about 1 second dedicated
1 second.
to talk.
Okay. Yeah, he really shouldn't have responded. That's the big thing. Like that was probably his big fuck up. His biggest fuck up was responding. He should have just stayed quiet, not made any Instagram posts or nothing. He could have just stayed quiet, never acknowledged anything to do with the situation again, and just quietly unlisted those videos, and then just went on with his life and his content. And then eventually people would have just fucking forgot about him, you know? But he made a response, and he decided to fuck himself over even more by making that response, by continuing to avoid any accountability.
Hey, now that I'm getting a better look at you,
Talking about how he shouldn't have talked about Daniel, which I would agree. He shouldn't talk about Daniel, undoubtedly. I would also say that people probably blew his assessment of the Daniel thing out of proportion a little bit, and that's fair. But at the same time, he boosted Lex's story. He did mention it. He did try to talk about it. And in this video, even he tries to sort of play the victim a little bit and complain about being harassed when like you're a fucking commentary channel. Like part of your job that comes from you making videos about people is they probably will get some level of harassment. To then complain about that to me seems kind of silly. Like to complain about mean comments, like your channel is a mean comment. That's the whole point of it.
Sure.
So I saw that as pretty crazy. And overall, yeah, just like not super.
I don't like this new
pleased.
like this new iteration of I don't want to call them cry bullies. I guess woke scolding, like the woke scolding bullies. Like when I look at people like Nick, the archetype of Nick as a person is he is a bully. And a lot of these people are bullies, but because they have like the woke demeanor, they somehow like skirt by that. But yeah,
that's
like,
true.
It's just like it's bullying, but it's for the right reasons.
Exactly.
I think
They
people would
enjoy watching
justify
other
it.
people go down. They enjoy like with people's careers. They like the gossip. They like to trash people. They like to use insults. Some of them like to use slurs. I'm pretty sure the same guy was defending like calling people like me a c***er and shit. Hassan covered his shit. So yeah, I mean, like, it's annoying. Like these guys would be, you know, racist N-word users in like another dimension. If like one or two things
Exactly.
like, yeah, it's annoying, yeah.
And then they'd be in our group chat, but instead they're in their own little group chat, the Cracker group chat.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a trend that's popped up.
That is
he's
something
definitely
I
one
never
of them.
really
Ethan's
thought
Online
about.
Is another one of them. There are a bunch of sort of commentary channels in that vein who, as opposed to like when I was, you know, when I was coming on the scene, when I was watching the first commentary channels, the whole point behind it was like, oh, it's bullying, but it's all in good fun. That was the point of it back then. And looking back, like probably picking on like a fucking autistic person is not that good of an idea. Just to like make a video being like they're autistic, that's probably not good. But now like things have flipped where the justification instead of it being in comedy, it's like, well now it's bullying, but it's for social justice, therefore it's okay.
Yeah. It's
one
that
situation.
There's a saying
Hello
of
there.
there are no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's kind of what's been adopted into the ethos of a lot of these people. That really all
I guess
is
so, yeah.
justifiable. It just depends on who you're aiming it at. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad this situation overall went the way it did, though, as far as the public kind of realizing. That, you know, Nick fucked up. I think they realized Lex fucked up.
I also hope that
overall,
content creators need to realize that you need to stop kowtowing. You need to stop appeasing these types of fan bases because to some extent, it definitely seems like Super Mega was like
Damn, it ends in a
appealing
day.
to these types of people because I still see in their
What is the
subreddit,
Spirit Siphon?
It'll be like the post will literally be like 5,800 million upvotes, and it'll be like, I understand that all of the allegations against
It's
Super
got
Mega were
gotcha
completely
mechanics.
fabricated, but do we really want not?
This game has gotcha mechanics. Stop. It has gotcha mechanics. Fuck. This game has gotcha mechanics. Gold, ooh, gold Frieza is in one of them. I might have to give it a, I might have to try. I mean, I've got a bunch of these tickets. But like what's going to come in the next season? You know, when you've got like the Gogeta and stuff. Fuck it. Let's try. Fuck it, let's try it. Let's hope for golden Frieza or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Let's see what this animation looks like. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool animation. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we got a Vegeta. Okay. So his super attack is Kamehameha, but his image is using Destructo Disc. Kid Gohan or Trunks. And then of course Goten. 16. Videl. Hey! That's pretty fire. And then another 16. And another Vegeta. And the Great Saiyan Man. That was pretty cool. I kind of want to, I don't know when that next season or whatever starts. So I think I might like, so that whatever training is. Okay, let's get back to it.
Sees like Destiny and Turkey Tom representing us. I think they should just stay. And it's like, what the is wrong with you guys? You guys are actually crazy. And Ethan, obviously from H3H3, is running into this as well. People need to stop appeasing these fan bases because it is mega toxic. And then if you run into
fan
any
bases
trouble,
are like a cancer. It needs to be stamped out like
yep.
an anthill.
Mhm.
Yeah. I saw the same on their subreddit. They were like the first posts. Eventually, they did all come around because I think that just like the facts of the situation are undeniable. But some of the first posts, especially, were like, "Well, I'm glad to see that somebody's talking about it, but these guys suck." One of like the most upvoted replies was like, "Turkey Tom defended Doja Cat wearing a Sam Hyde shirt." And it was
Yeah.
What? Who
Or
fucking
like,
cares?
guys, Super Mega, they wouldn't want us to post these videos because I forget the Super Mega guy's names. Like, they wouldn't approve of like Destiny and these guys making videos of this, and it's like, yeah, dumb.
Yeah, it's like, well, how do you guys even know what they would approve of? Like, do you think that these people, first of all, do you think that like these guys would not appreciate almost any defense of them at this point when people are trying to defame their character and call them horrible people when they lost 50,000 subscribers? Like, if I was in their position, fucking, Adolf Hitler could get on Twitch and defend me, and if he has a bunch of people behind him, I probably would be somewhat pleased with the fact that somebody is defending me, as long as the facts themselves are straight and other people can get that, right?
Yeah.
Hello there. Yeah, what is with this, dude? People fucking, I didn't even realize how much they hated you. They fucking despise you in general. Like, around the internet, there is this like impression of you that is not real. People fucking
because
just
the issue
are
is
disgusted.
the two of the largest political streamers online, Hassan and Vosh, actively like character assassinate me constantly. And Hassan, unfortunately for me, is incredibly well networked. So he's like very intentional about the style of character assassination he engages in. So for instance, these guys never watch video clips of me. They never watch original statements I've made. All they do is refer to things that I've done in like the least charitable way possible, or sometimes they just straight out lie. And then their audiences get an impression of me that's obviously insanely horrible. And it just is propagated from there. It's very, very, very irritating. Like most of the people that I run into, I've said this a lot, and it's happening even in my subreddit. I think today I saw a post. Most of the people that eventually end up liking me, it's not that they had to see the right video or I had to make the right argument or explain myself. Usually it's just that, oh, I actually watched one of your pieces of content for the first time ever, and when I watched your content, I realized you're nothing like Hassan or Vosh, whatever, like say. And it's like their representations of me are like these incredibly insane caricatures of like this racist, horrible person.
Yeah, because that's because their audiences will believe whatever they say about you because they believe they're just gonna believe anything fucking Hassan and whatnot says. That's the thing. They have a unique ability to be able to do that because you have to change it. Oh, well then yeah, let me fuck Krillin. And then fuck Piccolo. I'm putting 4 stars on. Why the fuck would I not put on my 4 stars? But yeah, like Hassan and Vosh and all them, their audiences are gonna believe no matter what. That's why they're gonna think that like Destiny's like a awful, super racist person. Because that's what Hassan and them want their audiences to think about him. So that's what their audiences are gonna think about him. For better or for worse, that's just what it is. Yeah. Fuck.
With the fact that like the odds in that way are kind of stacked against you. I mean, ultimately, if you are righteous and truthful, I think you will persevere and like win long term, I guess. But at least in the short term, like it must be just so fucking suicidally blackpilling.
It is, but I feel like I've done so well in terms of building community and everything. Especially over the last year and a half, I feel like I've been like rewarded for my virtue. Like I think I've done. I'm happy where everything's at right now. I'm more than happy. Everything is like exceeding expectations for like every part of my career and my communities and everything too. So no, I'm happy with it. It's okay. It happens. But listen, like Israel says, okay, we are the children of light. They're the children of darkness, and we will prevail. All right.
True. Shalom, brothers. Yeah. One of the other crazy fucking things was I saw this today. You had like sort of a 10 to 15 minute kind of segment within your reaction to Hassan on what's the fucking show? Piers Morgan, the British dude.
Uh-huh.
And within that, you were talking about Vosh. I think you call it the simulacrum he creates of you.
Yeah.
And he compared your subreddit to Kiwi Farms, which
yeah.
is like, as someone who spent a considerable amount of time on Kiwi Farms, like your subreddit is not like. Does he forget that like the number one thing that people have a problem with is Kiwi Farms is they store people's doxes, like people's addresses you can find pretty easily. Like that is people's number one problem with it. I have never seen. I've browsed your subreddit quite a bit. I've never seen someone's address get upvoted to any degree.
Yeah,
if it does get posted, I assume it gets deleted.
Yeah, remember, don't ever engage, like, seriously. They're just, everything they're doing is, like, normatively loaded, meaning morally loaded. So, like, the comparison of me to Kiwi Farms is just to bring up all the moral baggage of Kiwi Farms and make my community sound like that. That's it.
You're saying it's, like, not made to be dissected, basically?
Yeah, no, of course not, because when you analyze any of these claims, they're obviously absurd. If anybody spent any amount of time on Kiwi Farms and then my subreddit, you get banned for saying slurs in my subreddit. Like, have you ever been on Kiwi Farms in your life? Like, Kiwi Farms is insanely transphobic, at least in most of the threads that I've seen. I've got, like, more trans women than cis women in my community. Yeah, we don't do doxes. I've got rules right now where you're not allowed to bully people in their appearances. The idea that, like, my subreddit is like Kiwi Farms it's just, like, so obviously patently false. But you see how confident they are about lying about my communities, right? And the scary part is you look at their community and they all agree with him when he says it. And it's like, wow, have you never been to my subreddit? Have you never been to Kiwi Farms? Are you just completely and totally clueless? Or...
And the thing about like comparing these websites too is like if you were to get in like a beef with like, let's say like someone from Kiwi Farms or something like that, or you were to like catch their ire, the point of Kiwi Farms is to document drama extensively and go through your whole history, right?
Yeah.
The point of your subreddit is like trending from your community. When I have gone on your streams and even when you and I have had like negative discussions, sometimes there will be a post there that's like, I didn't like Tom's take here, he came across this way, but it's never like, let's go through his entire internet history with him, right? Which is like, the point of Kiwi Farms, which is fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But like, that's not what your subreddit is about, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's very like day to day. It's not combing through people's old shit. It's not combing through your associates' shit. It's not trying to dig up old drama about them. It's generally like even when someone like Bosch has like a good take, like I've noticed your subreddit will have like a positive post about him.
Yeah.
Which to me is like, have you guys learned nothing? But also like
yeah, no, that's probably
good take. Like, be
it's
positive.
hard, but like those are the things that I have to champion the most, as much as I don't want to. Is because this is the most trying time of me is to be good faith towards Vosh or Hassan, but I think people notice because I do, and even my community will do it, and it is irritating to see it sometimes. But like they do it, they'll give credit where credit is due, generally to like Hassan or Vosh, which I appreciate them doing it, even if on like a really deep part, I'm like, I wish we just shitting these guys forever. But
I wonder which one's the
obviously their
best.
communities never give me credit for anything ever. It's just always relentlessly negative. So hopefully people notice, but I think they are. Yeah, it'll keep going.
To get back to the topic at hand a little bit, as you know, Nick is good friends with Hassan. He's good friends with some bigger creators.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they would feel about his coverage here. Or if, maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're not informed on it. But I'm curious how someone like Hassan would react to like my video about Nick. Like obviously he would never watch it, but like how would he react to that? Like would he justify Nick's behavior? Would he reflect on it positively? Even considering he's someone who personally has been falsely accused in the past by like Laugh.
Yeah, I don't know if Hassan cares that much about any of this drama. He'd probably say like, oh, he should have done more research and then move on. The lefty people now are, I think, they're getting a lot more masked off about like the kind of like the progressivism stuff, and they're moving more into kind of like the tanky shit. So I don't know if the far left people now are on cancel culture as much for like the rape Me Too stuff. I think they're kind of moving past that, and now they're moving on to like the very kind of like ML Marxist Leninist like tanky shit. It's like a different type of thing.
So they're kind of done with like the more like kind of mainstream pastel hoodie.
Yeah, I could be wrong on this, but like I don't think Hassan would care as much about people talking about like racism or woke scolding unless he can shit on like conservatives for it. I don't think he's that kind of person. I think he mainly wants to focus on
bro, just let go.
Issues like class related stuff and like saying, he'd rather say all billionaires than all white people or something,
Yeah,
well, that
Hassan is that kind of pathetic.
Attention even for Ethan right now. I've been watching the most recent podcast. As you know, they're taking a little break.
I love that. I love that their leftovers is taking a break. I fucking love that. That's hilarious to me. It's so funny. It's so funny that they're doing that. Fuck.
The podcast might be back.
There we go.
Right now, it seems to be like Ethan's kind of had his Is it Schadenfreude? Is that the term when like you realize you're in bad company or something? The German word.
Schadenfreude. I feel like Schadenfreude. We disagree on this a lot. Apparently, me and my community. Apparently, people were saying Schadenfreude just means that like something bad happens to somebody. I feel like Schadenfreude is when something bad happens to somebody and they kind of sort of walked into it. They kind of sort of, I don't want to say earned it, but did something where it's like, that's my feeling of what that means. But, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, whatever it may mean, it seems like Ethan had sort of like a wake-up moment recently where he realized, like, it's not the whole community, because if you go on YouTube and look at the YouTube comment section, they're relatively positive towards both Ethan and Hassan. They have a pretty favorable view of what they're talking about. But regardless of that, there is this subset of the audience that I assume is like mostly made up of Hassan's chat, and probably an even more extreme version of Hassan's chat that f***ing hates Ethan right now, and they're f***ing pissed at him.
Oh yeah, his whole subreddit and everything has been like destroyed. And there's like anti-fan subreddits now, like the HVHD Productions, and then a misspelled one. They're like on every single post, every single day is let me see if I can find this. Productions. Like the whole subreddit is just an anti-fan subreddit now. It's insane.
Yeah, and I've seen posts
It's giving
blowing
Ethan
up as
vibes.
well.
Journalist families not being targeted, but do we condemn Hamas though? The main sub has been a loading zone for emotional dump trucks. Yeah.
I've seen posts blowing up on Twitter from like you're probably familiar with like
Why is it
Hassan
like-
Kit? Like there's like a community, like a Dream fan type community, but like for Hassan fans. So I
Wait,
saw
why
this,
is it-
This is a girl named like I don't know.
Why? No,
We'll
that is
go with
not
Rachel
that
or
is not my
something,
screen
like a Hassan
resolution.
profile picture. And the post was like, Ethan literally always sucked on this podcast. He's a piece of shit. Hassan is respectful and like nice and like kind and like always fights for the right thing, fights for progressive issues. And it's like, how can you even like compare these two as like saying Hassan is like respectful? Have you seen any clip of Hassan Piker ever? And even beyond that, I see posts claiming that, and I'm not the most informed on this topic, so I could be wrong, but you know, chat will correct me, I'm sure. They're saying that Ethan is parroting IDF talking points.
They
Is
basically
that
say
the
he's like
impression?
full on like pro-Israel simp and like never goes. Yeah, even though I think
like-
Ethan, from what I've seen, he's tried his hardest to be like sympathetic towards Palestinians and Israeli people. Like he's doing his best, but yeah.
I feel like Ethan for a while has been like relatively anti-Israel as like a state, like as like a government. Like he's pretty much against like them. He doesn't like the existence of the Israeli state. My impression is he just doesn't like that like civilians are getting like killed, which like anyone should have that opinion. If they're like a reasonable person, like you should, if you hear about like an innocent person who may be living a life comparable to yours getting murdered in a war, like you should probably feel bad for them. But these people,
Hey,
know
I
because
got
in
one.
their eyes, like these guys are unpersoned because they're colonizers, right? Which is like especially hearing that at the podcast where they're all like drawn and they're like sitting around with second thought or
the
whatever. You know what
tanky
I'm talking about?
podcast, yes.
So that one where
I
they're
don't know, I'm not
like
familiar with that
they're
podcast.
colonizers, so I don't care that they die.
Yeah,
It's like,
I think
whoa.
do they use the term there, settler baby or settler children or something? It's like wild. Yeah, that second thought guy actually got kicked off of Nebula for that. That was insane. That podcast was like, bro, there are Nazis on the internet that are seething that these guys can be that mask off in terms of like wishing for the death and destruction of like Jewish people or Israeli people. They're so mad that they could never be that
The
masked
Nazis
off
should
about
be
it.
seething.
Yeah,
should
they
be
are.
fucking
They
seething.
absolutely
Oh,
are.
fuck a
They have
Cyberman.
And on YouTube for way less.
Yeah, they've got to hide their anti-Semitism under like 15 different layers of irony. Like, let me tell you, how many ovens does my grandma have, and can she bake enough cookies to actually bake 6 million cookies? Like, this is like the level of crypto-fascism that Nazis have done. Meanwhile, lefties are like, well, if you kill an Israeli baby, that's a settler child. I think Hamas should kill them all. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, based. It's like unbelievable, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, like do you think this is going to be like a wake up moment for like a lot of the audience in terms of like what these people are actually like and what they genuinely believe and are willing to justify, or do you think they're like so brainwashed so far down the alt left pipeline that like there's no saving them?
No, I think things like these are the same thing as like Donald Trump getting arrested and charged with more stuff. What happens is there's going to be like an 80% of the fan base that is increasingly radicalized, but 20% is going to get lopped off, I think. So like the
Right.
people that like them are going to go further and further down whatever hole this is, but there's going to be like these outer rings of fans that start to look around and are like, wait a second, this is really fucking weird. And I think that's starting to happen more and more now, thankfully. So.
It is nice to see. I also hope we start to. We probably never will live in this age. This is actually just going against human nature. But it would be nice to live in an age when content creators don't actively pander to these like small political, not small, like large political fan bases and like just repeat what they want for money, basically, and because they know that like if they give the right take, the audience will always be able to support them on any other take.
Yeah.
Especially with like people like Nick, I would say, who probably falls into that category, a little bit of pandering to like the progressive,
Yeah, of course.
sort of like audience that exists. That probably comes from like TikTok. He does a lot of TikTok videos. It would be nice to live in an era where people don't pander to these people, and also where they're willing to, call out their fan base a little bit. I'm less extreme than you are probably on the responsibility for your community thing, but if there are large swaths of your community that believe something that you disagree with, and it's something as crazy as like killing babies is good, there probably should be some kind of like way to deal with that, right? There probably should be some kind of conversation about that to get those psychos out of your audience. And I think Ethan's problem is that he prolonged it for way too long. He pushed it off for the last 2 years. He's been doing leftovers, and now he's coming to a position where he's forced into a corner and he has to deal with it.
Well, to
but
be
he
fair,
should have learned his
I don't
lesson.
think
in my
Ethan
eyes.
realized, or I think Ethan probably was enjoying that type of rabid fan base for a while. I know people have linked things in the past, but it seems like he was kind of in favor of it when he was like targeting conservatives. He just didn't realize that he'd be next on the.
He definitely was. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in favor of it. Even from you probably saw his coverage of that story with the girl who like tried to cancel Fresh and Fit.
Oh my God! Yeah,
where
that
he's like
was
really
so
trying to
embarrassing.
goad her.
Yeah, like
know?
wait, so would you say he sexually assaulted? And even the girl's like, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that kind of thing is what he's been doing for years. And like previously, I don't know if you were like an old head Ethan fan, but I was. He got upset about the fact that apparently he had like a right-wing kind of demographic because he was doing anti-SJW stuff that he wanted to purge.
Yeah.
And now the opposite is happening. Is like, have you learned nothing for the past like 4 or 5 years? Like, you've been courting these people. There's a reason why they like you. And even Ethan has made crazy comments about people like Ben Shapiro, as you know, which were done in jest. And I don't want to repeat it on YouTube, even though it was done in jest. But also, like when you say things like that, obviously you're going to attract that kind of audience that likes that. Or saying stuff like, I think he said something about doing some harm in Roblox to the NRA building. He also said something about the Vatican, I believe, Vatican City, something like that.
Oh, and putting Ben Shapiro in like a gas chamber or whatever or something.
Yeah. Like what the in Roblox? What the is that? Like why? Like obviously these are the people you're gonna have. Like this is kind of the stuff you've been saying for a few years. So yeah, it's not that shocking to me, but I don't know. You gotta wake up sometime. Ethan Klein's waking up. He's taking the red pill.
Yeah.
Okay?
Shut the fuck up. Hopefully not.
He's gonna be so racist soon. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I'm only 3.5 minutes into this Nick video, so.
Sorry, man. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for the chat. Bye bye.
I will say the bullying shit is.
This
insane.
is-
I wish I would have been here. I wish I would have been here for the whole. Is it this subreddit? There's like an unofficial one. Is it the underscore one? These guys and the way that they talk about like Ethan and Gila is fucking insane. Oh my God. It has been some of the most insanely anti-fanny behavior I have ever seen in my life. I feel so bad for Ethan that his community is like this. Also, I feel so bad that Ethan apologized to that fucking Krogan girl and she still like shit on him on Twitter. Like, oh my God. Click that top thread. Ethan, thoughts? AB? I want Hassan to talk about my perspective. Ethan, okay, no more leftovers. It was truly disgusting for Ethan to pressure AB into sharing his thoughts, at which point AB directly said that he'd prefer for Hassan to talk about his perspective and put an immediate pause on leftovers. This man doesn't care about anyone else's perspective. He can pretend he does with his measly $6,000 donation and forced coverage of Palestinian death. But he's made it measly $6,000 donation.
What the fuck?
Made it evidently clear that he doesn't. Here's the clip. 10132.
I feel like it's a conversation that's better for someone like you and Hassan to have together. I don't know if I'm properly equipped to give my side in the correct way.
Can I advocate for you for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
The people who are saying AB needs to respond, AB needs to speak up, fuck you guys. I'm not going to say. I'll say it. You don't have to say anything. And I'm not speaking for AB. This is my opinion. Who the are you to demand him to talk about something?
He's being petty. Basically, he had to concede that the people saying keep their phone down had a plan, and his answer is to not talk conflict anymore. Oh, he's canceling leftovers. Obviously, people were mad that he rants about it for hours every episode and was schizo posting on his Instagram, calling out Reddit posts with 7 upvotes. Now, if he manages to distance himself from the show from the conflict, it will probably be good for his mental health. However, it's more likely that he continues his unchallenged rants just now without ever having an opposing opinion on it. It's very disappointing. Jesus. Okay, sorry.
Oh man.
There it is. Fucking hell. So wait, he didn't even like watch like the whole Nick video. He watched, or at least in this video, he just watched some of it, and then fucking Turkey fucking Tom came in, and then they just had like a whole different discussion like for the rest of the. What the fuck? Well, I feel like I've been gypped. How do you lock? Can you lock on to him or like? Can I lock onto him or what? Because anytime I try to punch him, he just fucking blocks it. Yeah, that was honestly that wasn't great. That wasn't a great video. Like that wasn't that good. That was kind of dog shit. Cause like most of the fucking time it was the majority of the fucking video was like Destiny wasn't even watching the fucking Nick thing. It was just him and Turkey Tom talking about the whole situation as a whole, not even really the video at hand. Like what the fuck? What was the point of doing that? What's the point of uploading that? So wait, so do I still need to find the key again?
Sorry, keep going. Saiyans were born to be warriors, and were sent to other planets to lay waste to them. They had a penchant for war and bloodshed, and had no problem slaughtering others. If you run into one, you're probably dead meat. Be careful.
Finally, story time's over. Let's get going.
Seriously, be careful out there and try to make it back in one piece.
So why can't you always sprint? It's kind of lame.
Where'd they go? What the hell's taking so
Hello, hello.
too? Idiot. There's no one over there. Use your damn scouter. This is how we'll flush out those pathetic earthlings.
Well, wouldn't using your scouter...
Do it myself. Stay the hell back.
Wouldn't the scouter just allow them to just come straight to us?
All right. That leaves just one key. Keep up the good work. And remember, try your best not to get spotted by the Saiyans.
If only my Goku were here.
Oh, is this Goku your boyfriend?
He is. He's incredibly strong.
I remember a brave young lad who stood up to Demon King Piccolo. If only that young boy clad in orange were here.
That's my Goku.
What?
Oh, it's got to be in here. Hello, hello. There, yep, I knew it. I knew it had to be in here. See, why does it lag now?
Oh, man. Damn these Earthlings. What is that machine? And what the hell are they doing? It somehow managed to bring others here, completely undetected. It must be some sort of powerful weapon. Very well then. I was hoping to avoid this, but I can't afford to take any chances. Burst open and mix!
Not good. You've got to get out of there now.
What the heck is that?
That's the Saiyan Grade A form. Oh, it's even more impressive than I thought. Supposedly, a Saiyan in that form is 10 times stronger than they are normally.
This is no time to be impressed, LJ.
I'll request official Royal Army support.
It's not working.
Of course it's not.
So, what do we do?
I'll send the time machine there. Head for the signal beacon. Now's your chance. Go.
Okay.
So sorry, I broke into another dangerous situation. Try to hold out until the efficient time machine gets there.
Can I, what, how do I not get hit? I can't not get hit. What do I do? Like, I don't understand the combat. I don't understand the combat. He just kept doing that and I couldn't fucking dodge it. There's nothing I could do. Yes. Could you have no choice? Hmm.
All right. Well, I think that we can finally get this party started.
Why? Yeah. Oh no, it's that. That's how you do it. I'm an idiot. Wait, why the fuck is that what's showing up? Fuck no.
Dumpstered by his own fans on Twitter. Pretty hard. After
1 second.
Ryan. All right. Well, I think that we can finally get this party started. Pleasantly surprised, came on stream with nothing really planned, and we got a nice Turkey Tom video about Super Mega. It's the false allegations against Super Mega. It's interesting the timing, because Nick is not green kind of just got dumpstered by his own fans on Twitter. Pretty hard. After Ryan had made a Twitter mention, I talked about that already. People are finally realizing that Nick is not green doesn't care. That's it. He just doesn't care. I don't think he cares about anything he says. I don't think that there's any really level of genuinity in his perspective. I don't think that he respects the topics that he talks about. I think that there's there's plenty of criticisms to go around for different content creators. You can dislike me and call me a stupid, silly boy, but I'm not known as a liar. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel like Nick is not green is. Because if I was a liar, I wouldn't get so many people saying, why? Because I'll say sometimes, I don't care about this. This doesn't really matter to me. And people will get upset with that. So I'll give you the honest truth. I feel like people are understanding Nick is not green, doesn't care. He weaponizes different allegations to fit his own needs. And this is a pretty big video. Let's get this going. So yeah, the false allegations against Super Mega. Let's go.
It's a comedy gaming channel. Super Mega is a comedy gaming channel with almost 1 million subscribers, run by Matt
Wow,
Watson
they haven't posted in like a year or something. No, what am I saying? A month.
Over the past 2 years, the channel has found itself mired in endless controversy. From the $60,000 lawsuit against ex-employee Jackson Tucker to their feud with former members of Oni Plays.
I have no idea what that is.
However, none would prove as devastating as those levied in July of 2023. That month, a cosplayer named Lex accused Super Mega's channel artist, Don, of SA. Matt and Ryan were named for mishandling the situation. This sparked enough backlash for a whole new wave of accusations to surface from former friends and employees. They ranged from cheating accusations to mocking a friend that passed away. It was enough to disillusion.
Yeah, the super time machine up. That's but here's my thing. Like, I don't really get why people care so much on public internet about cheating. It's so weird. I don't know. In a way where whatever. It's just dogpile. It's not good. I'm just saying. People have the same energy for that and like horrible things that happen. That being said, dude, the mocking of their friends supposedly it really irks me because I just don't understand. That to me, that's like if you even if they did, and I mentioned this a while ago, like one of their best friend had tragically done what they did, and you're gonna have a lot of anger and resentment associated with that. And so for anybody to even try to weaponize it, even if they did privately make a mention of that, like I don't understand how you could be just so. I mean, it's obviously that you're a stupid baby if you would be upset with somebody whose best friend took their life. And then they got angry and be like, I hate this person's a coward, even if it is true. And like, why would you be angry at them? Like, honestly, like that's a completely understandable interaction to have. So, whatever, let's continue.
Fans completely. Before long, Super Mega's audience had turned with an onslaught of memes and defiled merch spamming their Reddit. This was followed by Nick is Not Green, a personal friend of Lex, and a YouTuber with 700,000 of his own subscribers on 2 separate channels, totaling to 1.4 million followers, deciding to make make a video repeating those allegations, along with uncritically reading a Reddit post of claims one by one, treating it all as facts. These Reddit accusations, created by a former employee named Leighton Stollard, amounted to a history of racism, homophobia, transphobia, manipulation, workplace abuse and exploitation, and really just everything. All of this created enough backlash for Super Mega to lose 50,000 subscribers. It proved too much to handle.
Hey. Big fans, am I right? If you unsubscribe, dude, you're a fake fan, bro.
With Matt and Ryan ultimately deciding to discontinue the channel indefinitely. They uploaded 2 videos addressing the individual allegations separately. Since then, this case has not been reevaluated by any channel of their size. When claims are questioned by streamers like Destiny...
Yeah, that's true. It really hasn't. Nobody cared. And Nick is not green ever did some kind of like drawback. It's so interesting how the public narrative will work, where it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It just matters who looks right. That's it. You know, it just matters who looks correct. It's kind of pathetic, you know. It's pretty devastating because I'm sure that there's plenty of people who are just considering wrong just because somebody was louder and nobody cares. So.
And myself, Nick called us Redditors.
There's too many Reddit debate bro dorks on this website trying to come after me every single day.
It's funny. It's very funny because I mean, obviously, it just goes along with the. I honestly think it has to do with Hassan, and this isn't in a negative way, but Hassan's been very like no free clout, so he won't specifically address anybody. And I think that Nick is not green is just doing the parrot of Hassan, like no free clout, guys. I'm not gonna mention Destiny or Turkey Tom. These are just Redditors just downplaying it. Yeah, it's just fucking baby shit.
Well, I'm putting on my highly regarded Redditor hat to revisit the entire situation and explain to you all how Leighton, Ethan, Nick, Lex, Morgan, and Rav's stories about Super Mega are all full of shit. Let's go.
Ooh, base.
Lex is a model.
That was quick.
Her account went viral last year, amassing well over 300,000 followers. That growth was due in large part to a series
model. I'm pretty sure, and there's nothing wrong with it, but she just did like Patreon, like NSFW stuff. You can do NSFW on Patreon. You just can't do anything sexually explicit. But you can do what they consider like body art. You show yourself. You just can't do it in explicitly. But hey, good for you. Nothing wrong with that. Just annoying. She was like, I was doing work trips. Vacations and work divisions.
The roots were in the long-standing ties to the art community. One of those connections was Dawn, which she befriended in 2017.
This is my understanding.
Dawn was already quite popular with a sizable presence on Newgrounds, but it paled in comparison to his fame after creating Cassette Girl that same year. The mascot grew to be so popular.
Adult stuff. I don't know why I said that.
Popular that she was set to appear in Friday Night Funkin'. Lex later claimed many of his characters, including Cassette Girl, were based on her. This is also around the same time that Dawn became a channel artist for Super Mega. Matt and Ryan would kind of regard the artist as a good friend. Within a year, Dawn was invited to fly out from Germany to the United States. They filmed 2 rough drawings and a podcast. They wouldn't return to the Super Mega place, their office, until
Bubbles is like a survivor.
by then, Dawn and Lex were dating.
Oh, it's because it's King Kai. Close with Lex during this visit and invited her out to LA several times. Eventually, Lex moved into the Super Megaplex in June of 2022. This was all reflected on social media as the friend group shared their collective highlights. That consequently made it apparent when And Baba. That's pretty funny.
I must say there's something unpleasant about you.
Lex and several others distanced themselves from Super Mega.
I think I'm just gonna stop.